Opening day against Detroit. The Packers welcome the new season.
Welcome back to the season of opportunity and unlimited possibility.
Welcome back to the place of great expectations and greater aspirations.
Welcome back to crowds shoulder to shoulder packed and the deafening walls of sound they raise.
Welcome back to the house built by history and prime depend more.
Welcome back to Packers football.
Middle of the end zone for Dobbs. Touchdown! Williams engulfed again! My goodness!
The standard in Green Bay is Lombardi trophies.
Side backpedals to throw. Fires the pass.
Touchdown! A tracer from Jordan Love.
A new season.
Jordan Love to the end zone.
A new opportunity.
Josh Jacobs, oh, beautiful move.
A new journey.
A sensational over-the-shoulder catch.
Younger, hungrier, prepared team.
And it all starts here. Welcome back.
Hello and welcome to the Total Packers season preview presented by Software One. I'm Larry McCarren. In case you were off the planet, the Packers traded for and signed Micah Parsons to a long-term contract. The Micah Parsons, generational talent, Hall of Fame type first 4 years, and he's in his prime. That Micah Parsons.
Packers fans, Packer fan base, listen, you're going to see pure dominance, effort, determination to get to the quarterback, to get wins, whatever it takes to win.
Micah Parsons came through. Down he goes. Dropped. Parsons came flying through.
Go. All I know is go. Because all I know is attack. I just want to attack, attack, attack. One of us will break, and I don't think it's going to be me.
Again! Micah Parsons is unblockable.
Elite competitiveness. Lion mentality. Bow before no one. I'm just so grateful, and I'm blessed. The belief that the organization had in me, I take that with gratitude. So just for what they did to get me here, my goal is to, reward them with that championship.
Joining us now, my semi-esteemed colleagues from Packers.com, Mike Spofford and Wes Hodkiewicz. Welcome, gentlemen. Mike, those who grade NFL trades give the Packers extremely high marks for this one. What say you?
Well, you can't pass up an opportunity to get, as you said in the open, Larry, a generational talent, a guy on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Micah Parsons has racked up over 50 sacks in 4 years. He's got 4 Pro Bowls to his name, 3 All-Pro selections. He's a guy who wants to win, though, because he's only won 1 playoff game in his career to this point. So he's coming to Green Bay to win, and yes, he wants to get paid too, but we know why he's here.
Wes, were you kind of surprised the Packers were able to acquire a generational talent in his prime?
Yeah, I would to put it lightly, Larry, I was surprised at that one just because I didn't think personally the Dallas Cowboys would be able or be willing to move on from him just based on what he's done in those first 4 years. But for the Green Bay Packers, it's a no-brainer. I mean, as Mike said, he has a lot of credentials, but 4.3940 coming out when he came out of Penn State. That stuff just doesn't happen for a pass rusher. I mean, he brings a lot of intangibles that do not exist at that position, and now he's with the Packers.
Guys, Micah can beat you in a lot of ways. His quickness is otherworldly. He can also beat you from a lot of different spots. People have been game planning for him for 4 years and haven't figured out a way to stop him yet. Of course, even without Micah, the Packers were pretty excited about their roster and their prospects for the upcoming season. And it all starts with quarterback Jordan Love. Do you have a good handle on what kind of team you guys have?
I think going into this year, everybody is understanding what's at stake. And we've been building and doing a lot of good things, but I think the past 2 years, in and on some tough losses in the playoffs, I think has added a lot of fuel to the fire. I'm very excited to see what we can do, and I think just put a complete season together, be as consistent as possible. But it starts with, obviously getting guys back from injuries and getting them back on the field and getting back into that rhythm. I have no doubt that once we get everybody back fully healthy, we're gonna be a tough team to stop.
Is getting ready for the opener kind of a different animal? Now, even though you have a familiar opponent in the Detroit Lions, they'll have a new wrinkle or two.
Yeah, week one is always a test. Everybody's always excited to get the season started off, but like you said, it's so much different than the other games in the regular season because you have no film on this new Lions team. You can go back and watch film from last year, see the guys that they have, and obviously new coordinator, it might be a new scheme. You have no idea what they're gonna, start the season off, so it's tough.
Jordan, you're probably sick of talking about it, but inquiring minds want to know, how's the thumb?
The thumb is doing good. Thumb is, it's all, on track for what we were predicting, when we made the decision to get surgery, and, everything's looking good, and we're keeping it protected right now, and, get back into practice and start integrating myself back.
Second down, 3, Willis to the air, and that is caught by Golden at the 50.
Jordan, are you excited about what Matthew Golden brings to the party? It seems like he has the mystical it.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm definitely excited. I think being a receiver drafted in the first round by this organization who, clearly we haven't taken a receiver in the first round since, 2002? So I think MG is the perfect guy to just go have a breakout year. And I think the things he's done throughout OTAs and training camp, just continuing to get better every day. I think just the splash plays he makes has got me very excited to see what he's going to be about throughout the season. And he's going to be a guy we're going to be trying to get the ball to as much as possible.
Recently, ESPN.com had an article, "Don't be surprised if Jordan Love's an MVP finalist." When you look ahead to a season, do you have individual hopes, dreams, and aspirations, or due to the position you play, are all your hopes, dreams, and aspirations tied to team success?
I've always heard that they go hand in hand. When you have team success and you're winning games and going through the playoffs, obviously making it to Super Bowls, that individual success is going to come a part of that. More guys are going to have more individual accolades as a team. I definitely, always put the team goals first, want to be a team guy and do whatever. And obviously, you mentioned MVP, that's always the goal. You want to be the best player out there. You want to be the best quarterback in the league. But those things come, those things come with it. But individually, statistics-wise, I want to go out there and have a great year, spread the ball around to all these great receivers we got, throw for as many touchdowns as we can, and just have a great year.
Put on the show. Let's go. Pack on 3, 1, 2, 3.
We're going to work really hard up until the time we kick off. We're going to play fast, and we're going to be physical, and I'm going to let it rip.
Yes! He's hit it sacked! He is sacked!
You can't just talk about it. You got to do it over and over, and you have to be so locked in.
Intercepted! Intercepted!
That's a credit to relentless effort.
It's great to see Jeff Hafley's defense deliver big time.
Sacks and takeaways, Wayne. Last season, under Jeff Hafley, Green Bay's defense ranked top 10 in takeaways, yards per game, and points. Now it adds All-Pro Micah Parsons.
Here's a huge rush again, and Micah Parsons, how about a follow-up?
Micah, you're an elite player, but you're new to Packer fans. Could you describe yourself both as a player and a person?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think I'm the same person. I have no off switch. I only know go, as I tell people. I'm competitive. Like, I'll bring Connect Forward in here and whoop everybody and dare them to do something about it. You know, that's just me as the person. Me on the football field, I'm going to try to whoop you things and see what we do about it. I just think it's the same person. How you do anything is how you do everything. So whether we're playing who gets closest to the quarter or whatever, depending, I feel like I'm going to try to beat you, Larry.
Micah, are you getting the sense, and I know it's just first impressions, that Green Bay is going to be a real good fit for you?
Yes. Just focus on ball. You know, I think I'm going to just take a break from everything. I'm just so ready to just focus on this thing that what's really it's all about, and that's just football right here, of what we love. And I think here it's just all about ball. They pour everything into this football, and this is probably what I did in my life. And I told my family, they said, "Are you happy?" I said, "I couldn't be happier. I feel it." Like you ever just had that feeling, like you're just like, I think I made the right decision, and that's exactly what I feel.
And guys, you add Micah Parsons to a group of young ascending players who were top 10 a year ago, and the Packers have a defense with a special game-changing player at every level. And in Jeff Hafley, they've got a coordinator who can maximize talent. We saw it in year one. Mike, what's not to like?
Yeah, exactly, Larry. What's not to like? I think what's really interesting with Jeff Hafley heading into year two, and you're adding Micah Parsons to this mix, is how creative will he be with the pass rush? Because we saw a lot of it last year, but now with Parsons in the mix, what do you do with Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness and Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker? But at the same time, maybe he doesn't have to be as creative because of a guy like Parsons on the field, so you keep the opposing offense guessing that much more.
Wes, how do you see year two under Jeff Hafley?
I see a lot of potential and potentially a lot of takeaways as well. Because for me, I mean, you think Micah Parsons, well, now you have Xavier McKinney coming back off an 8-interception season, an all-pro campaign. When the Packers have been looking to acquire young talent and develop it, McKinney really embodies that. And now, with more pressure, could potentially be more picks.
Thank you, gentlemen. Still ahead, we break down the home opener versus the Detroit Lions. Plus, first-rounder Matthew Golden joins the program. Stay tuned.
Willis to the air, and that is caught by Golden, the rookie out of Texas. Another terrific catch.
In my eyes, what makes Romeo Doubs so special is his hands.
Get your hands up, get your hands up.
You know, I think he's got some of the best hands in the NFL.
He's got great body control, great field awareness, and his hands are different than any other hands I've ever seen.
Get your hands up, get your hands up.
Romeo is one of those guys that you can trust. You can Larry Bird him. He's going to tell you exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to pull it off. But he does have really strong hands.
Get your hands up, get your hands up.
He's so sudden in and out of his breaks.
Great release, great hand steps, and his pace of his route and his catching. Like, there ain't nobody I seen catch better than him in person.
Get your hands up, get your hands up.
The one thing that is always there for him is his hands. You know, he makes the crazy contested catches all the time, catches in traffic, and, you know, he's not a body catcher. He's going to go up there with his hands every time.
Get your hands up, get your hands up.
Romeo Doubs, one of the key pieces in the Packers' offensive puzzle, but certainly not the only one. Mike, who do you think is set up for a big year in 2025?
Well, I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs on the offensive side of the ball. Wes was just talking about Xavier McKinney in year two in Green Bay. I'm really excited about Jacobs in year two. 1,300 rushing yards and 15 rushing touchdowns last year, but Jacobs is the first guy to say he left a lot out there on the field, and I'm really curious as to just how much more is out there for him.
Wes, which offensive player are you fired up out of your mind about?
It's got to be Tucker Kraft for me. I mean, obviously, I'm no scout. You can look at me and figure that out. But he was one of the most consistent performers during training camp, in addition to the fact he was really productive for this offense a year ago. I just think seeing where his star takes off to now, maybe more downfield concepts, maybe being able to integrate some more packages around his talent. Last year was the breakthrough for him. I think this year's really the takeover.
Guys, I'm going with Matthew Golden. First of all, I think he's got the mystical it. And second of all, he was kind enough to sit down and talk with us.
He's electric. He's got elite speed, things that we can't coach.
But he's a lot more than just a fast guy. He can get in and out of his breaks. He gets open against man coverage. He's one of those rookies that has made one or two plays every day. When you start to see that, those guys are pretty good players in this league.
Matthew, you already practice and play like a polished professional. How did you develop that approach at such a young age?
I would say it started just with getting acclimated to football when I was younger. You know, that's all I had. You know, the older that I grew, I wanted to play big boy football, and you know, my mentality has just always been to, you know, just always go get it.
You're more than just a fast guy. You're a polished receiver. Is it important to you to be more than the fast guy, to be that complete receiver?
It's always been my mindset to, you know, be able to do everything, you know, not just one specific thing. And I feel like me being able to be that versatile, to get open anywhere, to make the blocks, I feel like it'll just help me more on the field.
How did you catch that ball in the Seattle game?
How does that
happen?
I just always had the mindset to just always attack the ball. Like, growing up as a little kid, I always caught the ball, I always had a football in my hand.
Taking a shot, adjusting to it, and making the catch. Golden. Oh my goodness, what a spinning grab.
Coverage was pretty tight, but Golden getting inside it right at the moment of truth.
What's your why in all this?
Just never having a lot growing up as a kid. It just goes back to being able to produce and just take care of my family, you know. You know, I always keep that in the back of my mind whenever I am on the field. You know, I'm doing it for the people around me, and I'm doing it for myself.
Matthew, hopes, dreams, and aspirations for your rookie season?
Definitely want to get that Lombardi trophy. You know, I feel like there's nothing bigger than that, and there's nothing bigger than hosting that championship trophy. I got my goals written down, but I'm gonna wait till after the season. Hopefully we can do this interview again, and then I'll tell you.
All right, guys, the season opener against the Detroits. Mike, how do you see it?
Well, I'm looking at the trenches for this game, Larry, because while there's going to be a lot of attention on how the Lions are going to block Micah Parsons, the Packers have to block Aiden Hutchinson, and he wasn't a part of both of the Lions' victories over Green Bay last year. So that's a big focus on one side of the ball. And the other is the Packers are going to need to stop that two-headed rushing monster of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery and make a lot of adjustments without Kenny Clark, who's now in Dallas, and he was the Packers' best run defender. So I'm looking at the trenches in this opener.
Wes, how do you see it?
I just can't wait to watch all these offensive weapons. I mean, we spent 6 months just talking about running backs and tight ends and receivers and Elton Jenkins going to center. Well, now we finally get to see it all together in this matchup, and that is what excites me most. Jordan Love, he is at the peak of his powers right now. He's entering that third year as a starting quarterback in this league. He has an embarrassment of riches to work off of with the skill positions. I want to see how they can all formulate together to create some interesting concepts and also, potentially, you know, one of maybe the more explosive offenses in this league.
Guys, the Lions are good, no question about it, but so are the Packers. And Mike, I'm with you. I see this boiling down to the trenches on both sides of the ball. Whoever wins the battle up front wins this game. Gentlemen, thank you, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and go Pack Go.